Brezza, the city-bred SUV.
Well, they've gone 2 better than they did against Lucknow in the last home game they played, the Super Kings. Will that be enough? 212 as Raunak Gaikwad falls 2 short of what would have been 200s in 2 games. And he had able support from Daryl Mitchell first and then Shivam Dubey. It's the kind of score. It looks good at halftime, but this is a different IPL, different world, different records. So we'll ask the questions of the panel on whether it's enough. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Aaron Finch, Mitch McClenaghan, Varun Aaron, who came closest. 210 is what you said. Would CSK take that, given what happened just in the last game and how easily Lucknow chased?
And that's a tough question nowadays, you know.
Yeah.
Before, if you would see 213 on the board, you would think that the batting team is going to win this. I mean, whoever set that target. But now anything is possible, especially with the batting lineup SRH have. But the wicket is slow. Now, if they can dry up that ball really well and bowl a lot of spinners like they have, and the spinners bowl well, it is going to be difficult for SRH to get this total.
Okay, you're seeing a lot of things over there that I need you to elaborate on. The wicket is slow, but dry up that ball, which means we've already seen Dew and 100%. The effect of it.
Saw it early. In 7th over, I reckon.
Yeah. In the 12th over, somebody put in a slide next to the boundary, and there was just like this sheet of water flying up, which is not good signs for the guys bowling second. But if you can dry it up, like Pat Cumins and Jaydev Unadkat were still bowling slow balls, even while there was dew on and it was gripping. So you can still, I think, get CSK on the board today.
Thoughts on that? Your thoughts first time?
Yeah.
Who has the advantage?
I think runs on the board still, and with it just being slightly slow, like Varun said. But I think SRH are a much better team when they bat first.
Yeah.
They play with so much more freedom. They go there with no fear, no target in mind. They just smack it as hard as they can. I think the only time that they can come unstuck is when they bat second. So I would have CSK's nose just in front.
It's a good point. We didn't touch upon it on the pre-show, but Pat Cumins has decided to chase today after what happened in the last game. Is this a test now to see if Head and Abhishek can be as effective with a 200-plus score to chase than to...
Yeah, I think so. Part of it would be that they understand that you can't just win one way playing T20 cricket in this country, because there will be days when dew is heavy and you have to bat second. So... yeah, I was surprised at the toss, but also good challenge now.
All things considered, did they make the right call, at least at this stage, of leaving the wrist spinner out?
Yeah, well, look, I still think it was the right call.
But they had enough in that bowling.
Yeah, you can't retrospectively kind of say, oh, no, they've made a bad call leaving them out.
No, what I'm trying to get to is
they had enough. They had enough.
That Sunrisers bowling, at no point did it really look like a wicket was going to come, if you know what I mean?
I guess that's the problem. And we haven't seen, like, any of the bowling lineups have looked like they're going to take wickets at the moment. Batters have just
especially through the middle.
Yeah, so superb during the middle. And there was enough in the wicket for them to create a few chances. It's just that, unfortunately, the mode of dismissal at the moment is trying to get batters to hit the ball straight up and trying to get them to, like, hit the fielders on the boundary. You're not beating anyone for pace. Hey, that's true. It's like no one's really nicking anyone out or beating them for pace. So... yeah, I think they went in with the right lineup. I don't think they'll be a little bit disappointed. But in terms of the amount of runs they've given away, that's one of their better bowling performances this tournament in pretty good conditions with their ball starting to get wet. So I guess the only factor in this run chase, when you're looking at chasing 212, you've got the Padirana effect. A high quality Yorker bowler who can slow the game down, a bit like Malinga when he was at his best. And Bumrah is at the moment. He's a significant factor.
Geez, you've put him in some great company there.
Oh, look, he's, well, what Bravo calls him, the mini goat. So, you know, he's high quality, and he does stop the run flow. And tonight will be a massive challenge, defending a total in conditions which aren't going to be easy to bowl good Yorkers.
Sets up nicely, because what happened in that last game, as brilliant as Stoinis was Huda took down Patirana in 1 over, and the rest of the innings was managed by Stoinis. So we wait to see what that will be. I'll come to second innings comments in a bit, but quickly, Raunak Gaikwad. What a season he's having for someone who actually started a bit slow. Oh, is the captaincy affected him? Almost a similar conversation we had of Gill. Now he's more runs, striking better than Gill, than Jaiswal. That's a pretty good turnaround.
Look, taking the captaincy of CSK versus taking the captaincy of GT, we're talking two very different conversations here. He said it himself that the first 2 games felt a bit surreal. He was still trying to absorb what's happening around him, especially with the whole euphoria around MS's last IPL and all these things with the crowd getting behind MS. But now I think it's sunk into him really well, and he's realized that okay, fine, that captaincy bit is done. I'm going to focus on my batting as well. It's not like he wasn't focusing on his batting in the beginning, but he's just ticked that box off, and now he's settled down. I mean, so easy his batting. I mean, you would not think he's broken a sweat. Obviously, it was a very humid day.
He's definitely broken a sweat.
He's broken more than a sweat.
Are you going to fight again?
But I'm talking like a mental sweat. You know, just really easy.
It's metaphor.
Absolutely, not literally. Figuratively.
I think if we go back 4 or 5 games, I think Gaikwad was in a similar position to Shubman Gill in terms of the rest of his lineup, barring one other batter, was not scoring runs, and there was a lot of pressure on him to stand up as skipper and at the top and actually start getting some momentum for his team. And that's what he's done better than Gill, I guess, if you're going to compare the two. He's been able to just park out and rest out the noise. And yes, you say the environment will be partly to do with that, but I think he's been exceptional. He's leading from the front, and he's pulled Daryl Mitchell along with him today, who made a bit of an impact, more impact than we've seen him so far, and then set it all up for Shivam Dubé.
Also, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, bro.
No.
Now you're being very nice to each other.
Also, we must understand, coming back to the point I was making before, that CSK is still playing on a typical Chepauk wicket. Nothing much has changed. But again, Gill is playing on a different surface to what he generally is used to.
Something, though, I guess also liberated Gaikwad, the batter.
Bill Jack struggled, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's played for the first time, that's why.
With the Mr. Aaron Finch, and only him now.
Yes.
Yeah. Something also seems to have changed. He dropped himself to 3 because he had to accommodate Rahane at the top. It almost unsettles batters searching for form, but do you sense just wins maybe has just unshackled Gaikwad? The team's been winning more than, say, Shubman Gill's team, for that matter.
Yeah, and that's a reflection on him personally as well, that he comes back into good form, and like he wasn't in shocking form. T20 is a brutal game. T20 is so hard as a batter to be consistent, and the expectation is, well, these young guys are going to come out and they're going to be consistent every game. It's just, it doesn't happen. The game is too hard when you're trying to play a high-risk game. So I think just finding his tempo, finding his feet as leader of the side as well is such an important part of it, and something that can take a bit of time. It took him 4 or 5 games.
Yes.
So that's a great sign for him personally, but Indian cricket going forward, because I think that he's someone who could play a role in all 3 formats of the game for India. So
let's talk about his counterpart. Yep, Gaikwad's looking good. Pat Cumins started the tournament really well. That's 2 expensive games. You can never be too harsh on bowlers, especially in this format. But any reason why Cumins is sort of leaking more than he was, or wasn't as effective? As Cumins is almost finding ways to get his 4 overs through cheaply in every game. Didn't happen tonight either.
I think people are getting used to his pattern of bowling now, because his off-cutter, back of length off-cutter, the slow bouncer has been working at the start, worked for him in the World Cup really well, but I think people are sitting on that now. If he starts sliding a Yorker in every now and then, he bowls a great length ball. I'm a fan of Pat Cumins with the new ball, getting wickets up front. He should definitely resort to that as well. I would love to see Pat Cumins bowl at least 1 over with the new ball, a role which he does for Australia. And that's where the Sunrisers are lacking. If you go to see, they are definitely one of the most expensive bowling lineups of this IPL.
Yes.
Their batting is just overshadowing what's happening with their bowling. And that's definitely a big conversation, because going forward, they can't be going at 200 plus every single game.
But also, teams are going harder against Sunrisers now as well, because they know the impact of their batting. So in the first couple of games, teams thought, right, Cumins, we see him as the biggest threat, we'll sit on him, we'll wait, we'll attack the others. Now they know if Travis Head and Abhishek get off to a flyer, then we're chasing a heap, so we've got to get after every over. So I think that's been a change as well.
Great point.
But I think,
thanks, mate.
I think teams are going hard nevertheless. Even if they're not playing against Sunrisers, teams are just going hard. So it looks, that definitely is a conversation when they're bowling second, but when they're bowling first, I'm sure they can restrict teams to a little lesser.
Quickly though, I thought we will see some part-time off spin. Maybe it was the plan? but we didn't see it because we had a Mitchell
two
Gaikwad partnership
right-handers,
for so long.
And we've seen Gaikwad be very, very good against any type of spin.
Yeah.
Fair enough. They didn't bowl the off spinner.
Would Travis Head be a bit annoyed that he was made to field for nothing? At least if he had a bowl.
Maybe that's Pat Cummins just sending a message saying,
Wake up.
We need you to be ready to field for Australia. So just let's get some practice in here. But he hit it short third man and short fine leg and barely touched the ball.
In a way, maybe on a serious note, there is something here because all the other games, Travis Head's batted first and then chilled out for the rest of the day. In a chase, though, like we saw in the last game, you sit out, you're almost cold, and then you get out.
I think that'd be incredibly tough as a batter to not. Like, there's just something, even when you field, your heart rate is up, you're in tune with the game and you understand what's happening out in the middle, whereas just sitting there with your feet up, knowing that you don't have to field, and then, to switch it on to go, let's go out and smack it
You
down.
can take cues from how that batting innings is going if you're an opening batter.
Yeah, absolutely. And just being on the ground, it just gets you into the game. But,
You could pick better grounds to put him out on the field than Chepauk, though. Down in Chennai, 40 degrees.
He walked from short third man to short third man.
It'll be hard to find a pleasant ground this time of year in the country.
But where would you get such an atmosphere? I mean, as a player, even for the opposition team, to just be involved in that game on this ground is special. I mean, because playing at the Chepauk, full house, though the crowd is behind the opponents, it's still an experience, I would say.
Yeah, Travis Head would have no idea what to do when he sees a crowd full of yellow. In the
We'd
stands.
struggle with that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Let's have a look at Travis Head against off spin. That might very well be how CSK start. This is a hugely significant game. Gee, that's baby Travis Head, isn't he? From a while back. Not with that amazing moustache that he used to have, but focusing on the numbers. Versus spin, an average of 15, strike rate of 126. What do you know of Travis Head's idea of his record against spin in white ball cricket?
He'd be well aware of it, and particularly off spin, because we saw in the last game, it's almost like he wants to go hard, but it was a panic shot and it was a last minute decision. It was like, I don't trust my defence, so I'll just go with a flick type sweep, and it just lobbed up to backward point.
Do you think that's because he knows that he was in two minds in terms of trying to rotate the strike because he's got Abhishek at the other end?
No.
He's spoken about that partnership being quite crucial. He knows how good Abhishek is against spin.
But I think it's at the same time it's still well and truly the best tactic that you can use if you've got the resource there.
Deepak Chahar is starting for now, and you can understand why he swings the ball. But very quickly, CSK know that they could not defend a sizable score against Lucknow with the dew coming in. What have they learned from the last game? Because we've seen them as a smart team. They can outsmart the opposition batters like they did in Mumbai. What can we expect today from the same bowling attack? They've got Shardul back on.
Shardul was pretty expensive last match. I think they have to get the third seamer going for less than 10. That would be great, because in all their games, two seamers are bowling all right, but the third seamer is going for above 15, which doesn't do you any good. I still think they should start with Moeen Ali, get him in early, exactly what the other teams did. But Deepak Chahar started off, and Travis Head has got off with a bang.
Just testing to see if Travis Head's cut shots as good as it was.
Just like Khalil did in Delhi.
They will also have potentially an extra batting resource. They've gone a bowler light here. And Seth Shabazz and Nitish Reddy will make up 4 overs, which they did. So they could either bring in Anmol Preet, or I think Tripathi is not on the impact bench, or Washington Sundar, who you don't really associate as a pure batter anymore. So that's the likely impact sub. We might see something different in the form of an Indian domestic batter.
Anmol Preet's a decent player.
Very good domestic record.
He's probably better suited to coming in earlier rather than later. Varun, you've probably seen a little bit more of him, but when he was at Mumbai, he came in at the top of the order in practice matches and struck the ball nicely. So
very good Mushtaq Ali as well.
Maybe they're trying to slide everyone down one if he comes in.
That was a theme we remember in the last game, whether they're missing one domestic batter in either Tripathi or Agarwal, who they've moved on from. So we wait and see how things go. Time for a prediction very quickly and an outrageous pick. Mitch, you first.
I'm going to go the same as the first game. I think this will get chased down within 18 overs.
Chased within 18 overs. Nice and easy. Anything else you want to add to that?
Travis Head will score 80 plus.
80 plus.
It'll be quick if he does.
Okay. Finchy?
I think Sunrisers will win.
Oh, okay. 2 Sunrisers.
Opening partnership to be the difference in the game. It'll be over 100.
Over 100 in the power play?
No, opening partnership 100 is fine. That's fine.
Opening partnership of 100. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mitch. And Varun?
I'm going to back CSK to win this.
Very good.
Moeen Ali is going to get 3 wickets today.
Good call.
Okay, nice.
Good call.
Moeen Ali, 3 wickets.
I'll take Moeen Ali because I've got him. I'll take him getting 3 wickets. Hyderabad win in a close one.
You're really into this, aren't you?
I am.
On your first day.
It does suck you in,
Yeah.
this whole competition.
Ask him.
That's
Thank
all
you very much.
That's all he talks about.
Okay, that's it for now. This is a game of huge significance. The points table will be affected by whoever picks up these 2 points at the Chepauk. Will it be back-to-back defeats and 200-plus run chases? That's never happened to the Super Kings. So history is with them, but history matters very little in this year's IPL, and that's because of the Sunrisers Hyderabad. So we have a fascinating post-match chat with Varun Aaron, Mitch McClenaghan and Aaron Finch. Join us then for Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Do download the mobile app if you haven't already. The fastest scores is Head and Abhishek are already on their merry way, and we will have those scores as fast as anyone else on the ESPN Cricket 4 app. See you at the end of the game.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.